Welcome to the Business Behind the Scene podcast with Francesca Moi, where we talk all about real business problems, real solutions, and getting actual results in your business. Hello, and welcome to episode number 197 of Business Behind the Scene podcast. Today we'll be talking about the common misconceptions and barriers to effective delegation. You guys know how passionate I am about delegating to virtual assistants. I don't believe we should be working so hard in our businesses. So this is the episode that I recorded that I really wanted you guys to listen through. It's quite powerful, and I'm going to share in details what are the problems with delegation nowadays. And once you listen to this, you're going to be a delegation king or queen. Go and enjoy, and I'll see you next week. Okay, so there's a common misconceptions and barriers to effective delegation. And this is one of the biggest things that I already started to share in the parts before of this chapter when I was talking about this faster if I just do it. And it's just a myth. It's not true. And we also know that very soon. So one of the things that I have learned is that when I first started the business and I was doing everything, I got very fast at doing a lot of things. But let's be honest, when I started to get the business started to grow and I didn't have much time to be spent on Canva or as much time to spend on my social media. So the things are this: if you keep holding on to it, this is what happened to me. There's two options. Either you're going to start to become inconsistent in a strategy that you know works, because I've seen it multiple times of people like going on social media and be very active and then they completely stop because they don't have time. And then they go, oh my gosh, now the business is not growing anymore. I need to go back on social media. And so they go back on social media and then boom, they stop again. And that roller coaster will also be a roller coaster of your finances, because if you don't have consistency on your marketing, you're not going to have consistency in your cash flow. So it's going to be a reflection of that. So it's going to be faster for you think it's going to be faster, but it's not. So one of these, the inconsistency will happen if you keep doing everything. And the other thing that is going to happen if you keep doing everything is that you're going to burn out. So there is like, you're either going to be burnout or you're going to be inconsistent. So you keep dropping balls, or you try to do everything, but you are going to be burnout. But also the other thing that happens when you think that it's faster if you just do it is that you're not going to be able to really become an expert on any of these things that you do. You're going to be average at them, and it's going to be okay enough for the business to continue moving forward, but you're not going to become an expert at it. And how I know that is because when I was doing my Canva, my social media, all the bits, I was sort of surviving and I was doing an okay job. But when my virtual assistant became full-time in marketing and then all they were doing every day, all day is social media, writing content, blogs, and Canva, they become amazing at it, at the point that now I go like, it's faster if you do it. It's not faster if I do it anymore. It's faster if they do it, because they became expert. And I was never an expert. I was just doing it good enough, but it was good enough for that level of the business. So I always say to my clients, and I always say to myself, whatever got me here is never going to get me there. So if I've got the future version of myself, I need to let go of the way that I've done things until now and allow things to change for me to be able to go to the next level of the business. So even if we had a bad experience, it's not really... we cannot give up, because again, if you give up on hiring people, you're giving up on the future version of yourself. And that means that, are you willing to do that? Are you willing to give up on that future version of yourself? Are you willing to not have the lifestyle business that you wanted, or not spend time with your family? Or what are the things that you're really truly willing to give up in order of you not delegating? Like, that's the thing, right? There's going to be a consequence of you not delegating. And so we've got to think about that. So it will save you time in the long run, but you will have to invest time in the first 3 months. So hiring a virtual assistant will sound like a waste of time in the first 3 months. And because every beginning is hard, because we have to spend time with our team to be able to train them and support them and teach them and show them how things are done around here, no matter where you get your virtual assistant from. And this is not just for virtual assistant, it's for any staff member that you get anywhere. you still need to spend time. In the first 3 months, you can't really expect too much. Literally, today I was talking to a client that was saying, okay, I want a free virtual assistant from 2 weeks from an event of Francesca. I'm so excited, amazing. And the expectation on the VAs was so high, ridiculously high. They were like, okay, you got 2 weeks to show us that you bring a business. If you don't bring a business, we can't hire you. And it's like, let's be honest, right? Even if you hire someone that is $100,000 a year, they're not going to get you any business for the first 3 to 4 months, maybe even 6 months. So we need to be realistic with our expectation on new staff members. And we need to understand that the first 3 months, they're probably not even going to save us time. The first 3 months, they're going to probably, use more of our time, but they will free up our time for the rest of our lives. So are you willing to suffer, if you want to call it that, for 3 more months? Are you willing to spend the time and the energy and really be focused on this? And also understand that sometimes it happens that we also go backwards in our cash flow, because when we spend more time training someone, we might lose a little bit of momentum in our business. And that is totally normal. It's part of the journey. But we always need to keep focusing on what's going to happen after the 3 months. How much time are you going to get back, which means how much money you can make when you have all that time back. So it's, again, we have to keep in mind that future vision of when this person is trained and I can take all of these things off my plate, then what will I be able to create with that extra time? So yes, it's going to be time consuming in the first 3 months, but it's going to be so worth it, because you're going to have not just your time back, but you're going to have your business tripling, quadrupling, whatever your goal is going to happen, because you're going to be able to now finally focus on the business after the first initiated 3 months. So it does take a lot of trust and faith to let go and allow someone else to take over. But what is the option here? What if you don't have trust? What if you don't have faith? Then are you really willing for the rest of your life to work as hard as you've been working until now? Because for me now is a no-brainer. I'd rather delegate and have the pain of delegation and finding someone and training someone than have to work this hard for the rest of my life. Not interested. Thank you. So we want to really now focus on identifying the task that you need to delegate. So distinguish between the high level value task and the time consuming task that really need to be delegated in your business. So I have a little rule that I have created to help my clients understand what are the tasks that they need to delegate, what are the tasks that they need to keep and stay focused on. So one of my rules is CEO do things once and that's it. So what means that anything that I do, I always wonder, will I have to do this again? And if I have to do this again, then I will have to create a procedure, a template, and delegate it to my virtual assistant. But if I'm doing something that is just one-off and never again, then that thing probably can be something that I need to take care of in the business. And so especially depend on where your business is at, but usually like a sale call would be something that I would rather spend time with. What I mean that I will have to do this once with this client is just a one-off, and so I'm gonna keep it. But because it's a bit of a different concept, because obviously a sale call is something that done by me, is something that I can sort of harder to delegate. It's possible to delegate it, but wouldn't be the first thing that I focus on delegating. It will be a little bit later on. So anything that is repetitive should be created a task, a procedure, and pass it on to a virtual assistant. So all the tasks I do more than once, I must delegate them. So it's really important that I value my time, and I've created and it's important that you value your time. So I created a CEO checklist. This checklist will support you to really understand what are the tasks that your business is, that you are doing currently, and it's too time consuming and you shouldn't be doing them anymore. And it will have like a place where you can put how much time that's taking you every week. And then there is a column that is the task that your business need someone to do in your business, but you haven't had time and energy to focus on that. So it could be like writing a blog. Like I know that the business will benefit from writing a blog, but I never done it because I don't have time, or I don't have anybody in the team that can do that task. And so these two columns need to be filled out. It's like, yes, I want a blog once a week. It probably take about 2 hours a week. Okay. And they put 2 hours there. So you will have these two columns fill out for every department. So we put you in there, all the things possible in your business, and you write them all down and you fill this out. And then at the end of this, you'll be able to summarize what is the total, right? So how many hours are you currently doing that you shouldn't be doing? You should delegate it to someone, and how many hours your business needs someone to do something and nobody is doing it. And so once you have those two, you'll be able to see the total at the bottom, be like, oh my gosh, I need someone 40 hours for me to take things off my shoulder, but also do the things that will help the business grow. And so once you understand that, we also created a little table of value on how much is your time, because this is the other thing that we don't understand sometimes. We're like, oh, it's just faster if I do it. It only take me 15 minutes. It only take me an hour a week. It's fine. I'll do it watching Netflix at night. But it's not about that. It's about how do you value your time? And if you follow this template that are created, you'll be able to calculate how much is your time worth. And usually it's a minimum $400 an hour. So if you are saying that this PDF is telling you that you should be delegating at least 20 hours a week of your task that you're currently doing, 20 hours times 400, that is $8,000 a week that you're wasting by doing these 20 hours of tasks that are not your responsibility to do. And so once you understand that, you'll be like, every week you're throwing $8,000 in the bin. What I mean by that, if you were to hire a CEO, nowadays CEOs about $200,000 a year, right? So every $200,000 a year divided 52 weeks, that is about $3,800 a week. So if we are calculating on that level, so every week that you don't you delegate the task, you at least wasting $3,800. That's the minimum, right? The minimum that I would say. And so what you want to think is, time is money, and every hour that you spend not doing the things that will push the business forward, but doing admin and things that are back end that you should not be doing, you are throwing away money. And this is not girl math. This is not girl math. This is actual fact. And so we need to start to make a list of things that you do every day, every week. And we need to start to really work out the time value of your time per hour, and then start to calculate, do you really want the business to pay $8,000 a week for you to do something that you could just delegate it for $400, $500 a week? Like, priceless, right? Priceless. And so now that you have the clarity, I also wanted to give you this PDF. Is 100 tasks that you should delegate to a virtual assistant to really help you understand even more in depth on what are the tasks that our clients are currently giving to the virtual assistant. And so for this paragraph, for this platform, one of the things that we would like you to first do is understanding your future self and what are your goals and what are your dreams, and then make sure that you start to really align yourself to, like, this is my vision. Write it down, put it in front of your computer and be like, this is my future self. I'm going to be doing these things every day. I'm going to working only 20 hours a week. I'm going to be going on holiday once a month on a long weekend, whatever that is, right? So have clarity around what does your future self look like and what are your goals and dreams for the business. And that way, you know exactly where you want to go. Once you've done that, you want to make sure that we make a list of what you do every day, week, month, and quarter, and then highlight what you need to stop doing and what you need to start delegating, and then go through the CEO task, because once you've done that, it will be a lot easier. Download the CEO tasks here and make sure that you start following that, and then calculate in the last page how much is your time worth. And therefore now you know exactly what you need to be delegating. Thank you so much for listening to this amazing podcast. Now, if you enjoyed this, you're definitely going to love my Facebook group, where I've got over 11,000 people in it, and they're all business owners successful like you. It's called the Successful Entrepreneur Lounge, and in there I do classes every week, and I get to interview my clients, and I get to teach you all the things that I've done to get my business to 100K plus a month. So I look forward to have you in there. It's called the Successful Entrepreneur Lounge Facebook group in Facebook. I look forward to see you there. Ciao.